Hello and welcome to the Artist Loft. I'm your host Heather Whitty, and today I have Mr. Scott Casey here with me.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
Good. Doing very good.
Excellent. So the first thing I'd like to ask you about is just your background in music. I know you started out as a piano player.
I did. I played piano when I was a kid. I would kind of, emulate Elton John songs on the piano, the family piano. When I was about 10 or 11, my family actually bought a pipe organ and stuck it in our house. I mean, I don't know too many people that have a gigantic pipe organ in their house.
Pretty large instrument.
And then in high school, I switched over to guitar, played guitar for many years. And then I eventually moved to Florida and took a job at Disney World as a piano player there, where I was there for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about your time at Disney World.
I played at a place called Jelly Rolls, which is a dueling piano bar. So two guys sit across from each other with grand pianos, and they take requests. There's no music on stage. If you have to play it right off the top of your head. Mm. But it's more pop, that kind of stuff, rock and country, and a little bit of comedy, that sort of thing. So that kind of taught me to play on the fly, which I really enjoyed. And then I had a band there that played conventions and that sort of thing.
Tell me about your band. It was called the Blues Brothers?
No, that's a different band that I play with also. Okay. It was called the Unsung Heroes. And also, I hired myself out a lot as a sideman, as a keyboard player sideman for different 60s, 70s, and 80s bands. So, like I did a gig with Survivor, or I did a gig with the Four Tops, or, that kind of thing. So I was kind of an on-call kind of guy. And then I also played with the Blues Brothers quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And when they come back from Florida, one of the original Blues Brothers guys is from Longview, and they'll do a tour here every year. So every year for 6 weeks, I play with them.
What's your favorite performance to do?
I really enjoy bluesy kind of stuff. Like I said, I played with a lot of 60s and 70s bands, but believe it or not, the Blues Brothers show is kind of my favorite because it's a lot of different diverse stuff, and I can be very open in my playing. When I'm playing with other bands that have had records out, they want you to play exactly what's on the record, and sometimes if you're playing a Herman's Hermit song or something, you can't improvise at all, but you can with the Blues Brothers.
So, I know you also write your own music. How many songs have you written?
A lot. Hundreds. I've had some songs placed in some movies. I'm also, this is really funny, but if there's anybody that's into cult films, I sang the title track to the Toxic Avenger series. So, comic people kind of know what that is, okay. But normal people go, well, I have no idea what that is. So.
What's your favorite part about writing music?
I don't know. It's kind of a grind almost. I don't know that I have. My favorite part is being done, but I'm one of those guys that I'm never quite done, and so I kind of force myself to just stop working on something. Otherwise, I would just keep going forever and never release anything.
Was there ever a time where you felt like music became more of a career than a hobby for you?
Yes, very much.
What was that like?
It was kind of frustrating, and that's why every once in a while I'll change up, like, I'll do studio work for a few years or whatever, and then I get the bug to play live again, so I play live again, and I kind of go back and forth. Right now I'm kind of in that live playing phase that I'm really enjoying. Mm-hmm. And then I think too, when I was working, I worked for some cruise lines for a long time, and the money was great, but it was very long hours, and sometimes you just go, oh, I can't believe I'm going to play another 6 hours straight. So, I don't know if that makes any sense.
What was it like to travel worldwide as a musician?
That I like a lot. I'm okay with, hotel rooms, and I really enjoy that. I have a pretty, I can travel anywhere with 2 shirts and 2 pairs of underwear. I'm good to go, so.
Do you have any cautionary words for musicians who are planning on pursuing a career in music?
Most important thing is to really, practice a lot. It's a difficult thing to force yourself when you don't feel good to play and smile. But once you can do that and it becomes natural, then you're set. And I also think that if you can, delve into theory a little bit. I mean, I didn't really learn to read proficiently until I was 35. But I think it's really helped me a lot, and to appreciate other styles of music that I wouldn't have liked before. You know, when I was in my 20s, I would have never listened to, you know, a disco record, but now I love that stuff. So I don't know if that makes sense either.
So during your time with the dueling piano stuff, were you playing with no music?
No music at all.
By
no
ear?
music at all, just by ear. And they wouldn't allow you to take any music on stage or any cheat sheets or anything like that. So it took a while to build up that core of songs to where, you know, because if you play in a rock and roll bar, there's going to be like 100 songs or whatever that somebody's always going to ask for. So once you have that core down, then some of the kind of esoteric stuff that people don't normally ask for, if you play, they're like amazed, like, how did he know that? But you know, it's just because you happen to know it. So
what would you do if you didn't know the song?
Well, if there was enough money, I would fake it. And if it was something that was completely out of left field, I would hand it off to the other guy. That's why you have two guys with grand pianos facing each other, because if one guy doesn't know it, chances are the other one does.
That sounds like a fun time.
It was very fun. I liked it.
Are there any words of wisdom you have for young musicians?
Well, the practice thing is important, but don't get caught up in the lifestyle. Like it's very easy to kind of take on the persona of I'm a rock and roll guy, so it doesn't really matter what I do, and that's not true, because you know, people get their feelings hurt and stuff, and especially on the road, you got to make sure you eat well too, because it's really easy to be unhealthy on the road. And I know nowadays, you know, most younger musicians, they're taking much better care of themselves than I did when I first started out. That's very important.
That's good. Well, thanks for coming on today, Scott.
You're welcome.
I'm glad to have you here, and I was hoping we could have you come on over to the studio with us and maybe play us a song or two.
I'd love to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet soul leaves Georgia on my mind. Georgia, Georgia, a song for you comes as sweet and clear, like moonlight through the pines. Out for me, all their eyes smile tenderly, and in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet soul leaves Georgia on my mind. smile tenderly, and in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet soul leaves Georgia on my mind. Just an old sweet song leaves Georgia on my mind. On my mind. On my mind. On my mind. I was only 17 when I took the long ride, left my homeland to the other side. Little did I know I'd come back somebody else. Brought my prejudice that I learned along the way. Eyes are opening with each passing day. Little did I know all that I learned was a lie. 'Cause the walls are like thunder and the bullets like rain. Long as I live, I won't forget the pain. 'Cause the bombs are like thunder, bullets like rain. And I won't go back to that country again. That I'd never really known. Stranger to my eyes, the memories still haunt me today. 'Cause the bombs are like thunder and the bullets like rain. Long as I live, I won't forget the pain. 'Cause the bombs are like thunder, bullets like rain. I won't go